So I would say one of the most challenging things of growing up in a Mexican culture, and I think this resonates across many cultures, is that it feels like a person can't have boundaries. Hey y'all, I am VictorÜ. I help provide insight to empower, and today I wanted to talk about this cross-cultural phenomenon that I've been seeing as I've been acclimating to this new experience of space and capacity, which is really an exercise in boundaries. So when I say boundaries, that's exactly what I mean, is being aware of when it is that I do or do not feel like I have the space or capacity to help someone out, to extend a helping hand, and it touches on, it resonates with that old adage of like, you can't give from an empty cup. So a big part of boundaries isn't just like pushing people away and saying no, 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 getting kind of trigger happy with that newfound sense of maybe self-empowerment. Especially if you've not exercised your boundaries in the past, it can be very tempting to want to just like say no, 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 no to everything and everybody. But I mean, take it with a grain of salt. But that may end up burning some bridges. Maybe those bridges needed to be burned, but tact and right place, right time. There's a time and place for everything kind of vibe has been a lesson that I've had to learn that's been consistent, that I need to improve upon. But touching on the cross-cultural aspect, I was talking with my acupuncturist and her now husband, fiance at the time. When she met him, she spoke a lot about how enmeshed he and his mother were, and that's the visual that came to me, that prompted this video. Was I saw generations of people enmeshed, tribes, right? Back when we were tribes, we all had that trauma that was passed on from the parents to the kids, and it sucked. But the message was, look, this stuff is going to keep getting passed on until we get to a point in society as human beings where we learn to deal with this stuff. Then I need you to teach that to me. I'm going to take care of you, I'm going to bring you up, and I'm going to do my best. I don't want to fall short of that, but eventually we're going to get to a place where you learn what we didn't have access to. You're going to have access to the knowledge that we didn't have access to. And today, that's psychology, that's therapy, that's energy work, self-development, communication, like effective communication, like the things I harp on are the 4 steps of communication. What they said that you didn't like, how you felt about it, the needs that went unmet, and a request for a changed behavior. Like, that's just one of them, but it's such a keystone tool that reverberates in other parts of our lives. Suddenly we have this tool, and I've kind of spoken this on my Instagram before, of like how so much of anxiety comes from feeling unprepared. Like bad things are going to happen, and the implication there is that we will not be prepared to face them or to deal with them. One of the biggest things of confidence, play that back if you need to, but one of the biggest things about confidence is that it's trusting yourself to be able to, not perfectly, but just maybe with integrity to yourself, to your values, to your inner truth, being able to handle what life brings you. and getting experience in that. When we get experience in that is when we get more confidence. It's like my friend has a word for it. I'll try to dig it up for the next video, but the more we see that we can do something by having done it, the more confident we get and the more comfortable we get in our bodies. So yeah, that was the big message of like epigenetic trauma, past life karma, ancestral karma, is like our ancestors did their best to get us to this point, and now that we're in the day and age that we're in, we have more tools and more knowledge than they ever had access to. So it's on us to learn how to communicate effectively so that we can love effectively, so that we can forgive, not just effectively, but like ourselves most of all, and our families. And in doing that, like all these dense energies that we've been carrying across generations that our bodies are made of, right? The body keeps the score. Suddenly they become more spacious. We become lighter. Those dense energies start to kind of effervesce. I don't know if that's a word. But yeah, it just starts to disperse and dissolve. Those dense energies start to dissolve. It's just like, every time I picture it, it's like a dense thing of coal, but I don't know, it kind of turns to like soap bubbles, something like that. But I mean, like, yeah, there are a lot of energy tools that I use. The violet flame is one of them. That's, you know, where everybody I feel like should start. But that's essentially what that energy tool does, is like it gets into the dense energies in our bodies, in our physical bodies, as well as our astral emotional bodies and our spiritual causal bodies. It'll get into and between the dense energies, and like it'll start to vibrate and loosen all that compacted energy. I'm kind of doing it right now. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you thought, how, like what it is that you're learning to, you know, undo that trauma by being a more effective human being and person. Yeah. All right, love you. Peace. Class.